Hello YouTube fans, here again. And today with the odd utility, my big loud jumper I'm wearing and my rain socks, I decided to do this one. That's why this one being Friday the 13th, part 5, A New Beginning. Now after Friday the 13th, the final chapter, bullshit, I keep saying that word, and it is. It is, because originally, as you all may not know, the fourth one, being the final chapter, was going to be the final chapter. It was going to be the last one they were going to do. But as you know, money talks, Paramount, even though we're whinging over slasher films, we're making a bomb. So they decided, what the hell, let's do a fifth one. We got it a new beginning, and we got it a day. But in all fairness, a lot of people in that era said this was the weakest, it was the worst, blah, 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 blah. Over this, it's not really that bad now, and it's had a big taking. But at the time, a lot of people said it was the weakest one, all because it didn't have Jason. I offended this the first time, and I'm going to offend it again. People forget that the very first Friday the 13th did not have Jason neither. It had Patsy Palmer as Jason's mum, and the original was a murder mystery, which I think we call it. I say more of a mystery than a murder mystery because you find out that the killer is. It turns out to be Patsy Palmer. Jason doesn't really come into it till nearly at the middle, nearly at the end. Originally, it was just a typical boat team dump scare. And when they did the second one, someone thought this smart ass idea to bring Jason in. Originally, it wasn't going to be fucking Jason. I think originally when Friday the 13th Part 2 come out, that idea of having a copycat killer. But instead, they decided to bring Jason. So Jason really wasn't really a main star in the original Friday the 13th. A lot of people forget that one. So I don't like the fifth one because it wasn't Jason again, and it definitely made it more of a murder mystery. It went back to basics, and I think it went back down to earth. It wasn't 3D with eyeballs popping out or fucking faces getting cussed, or Jason managed to hold his breath underwater and in the uncut one of Friday the 13th, the final chapter, whamming a knife in a fucking woman. A kid can manage to fucking slice fucking Jason to a fucking debammer, but he can manages to cuss people's heads until the eyeballs pop out and cuss people's heads and rams knives in people's arms. But a kid can fucking hack him just like that. So I don't like this one because it made it more down to earth. So it starts off, he sold Tommy, the original actor that played Tommy. But at the time, I think he was doing Duelists, but he offered to make a guest appearance in the fifth one. So you get a nightmare scene, these two people digging up Jason's body. Jason comes back and kills them all, goes to kill Johnny, Cormac, it's like 9 rate offence there. And then you find Tommy's having a nightmare. They altered the actor. I know originally he was going to have him in the sixth one, but he went, oh, religion. So fair enough on that. But I do love the bit. You got it where it ends. And I do admit where it begins, I should say, and the masked fires out. But I was about to say the director that did this did one of my favourite films. That being Savage Streets with Linda Blair. And the funny thing is, he used to do porn, this director, so you do get a bit of seediness in it. You get a lot of tits, a lot of nudity, a lot of bonking, a lot of violence in this. It definitely doesn't hold back. So there's definitely a lot of nudity in this one, which I like. So once you get the opening, it's in this place, where people have problems. And this one guy, you think you've seen him before. He was in the movie Harvey Food, being Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the one who Indy got inspired by, and he was also in An Innocent Man, being one of the baddies in it. So it's interesting to see him in this. It's not a good known for him. And again, you've got like the older version of Tommy, but I like him in this one. He does martial arts. It's like Tommy's been watching Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee. He too makes his mask and his little dad sits and all that, and this dickhead steals his mask. Big mistake. He gets twatted. But you do get through do some deaths in it. You get one where this dickhead is winding his die up and he gets a fair stuffed in his mouth. You get one gets his throat slit, and how could we get this? You get one woman, nice pair of boobs. If I remember rightly, she gets an axe in the no, yeah, that's it. She gets an axe in the stomach, and one guy gets an axe in the head. He, funny enough, paid a teacher in Savage Streets. But it starts off really like a revenge and all the murder mystery. This one lad, right, he's a bit on the chubby side. Say a nice word there. And he's winding this guy up as a bit of a fucking psycho. Big mistake. He gets the fucking axe. He gets sliced to pieces. You see it off scene, but you get the aftershocks. And you see this ambulance driver that sees it all. And this other guy's a fucking knob. But then, like I say, you get a few gruesome deaths. There's one death, which is one of the most gruesome deaths in movie history. Get one do. Again, there's a bit of bonking, and I heard rumours in real life there was a real bonk scene there, but they've softened it up for the film. Whether it's true or not, it's a different story. But you get one do, she's got nice tits, and she gets in the eyes. But you think it's going to be it. The lad's in sock, and he's looking about. One dies perfect, he gets stabbed and all, so you get 3 deaths for the price of 1. So this lad's socked, he's seen what's happened to his death, and he's lost his teeth. Next thing you know, his belt hits him in the face. You don't see the killer, and he's turning the wood like that. And every time he turns it, the belt gets tighter and tighter. You do see it and all, with the blood squirting out, really horrible. But then you get the aftershocks, and it's like, oh. And it's frightening the fact that someone could copy that. That to me is more frightening than anything, that someone could do that with a belt. You get a doff chick. You state song, it's called The Man in the Eyes or something. There's a man in the eyes, something like that. But I do know originally she was going to get stabbed down there. Your typical MPA saw it, that could be cut, so they had to open it when she got stabbed in the gut. Which is the same really, I think it would have had more of an effect if she was getting stabbed down there, without being weird. You do get one lad called Redzy, I forgot his name, Redzy, who I do like. And his older brother was only the same actor that appeared in the original Return of the Living Dead. Which is ironic because the one in 1 year after you get a new Tommy played by the same lad who was in Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2. So it's like interesting that. And I always thought myself that there's this one dude who's a Tulsa, and I always think it was going to be a love scene between him, I should say, and Tommy. And it's one of these all the way through the film. You think, is it Tommy? Is Jason come back from the dead? And blah, 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 right? But I always thought the scene was funny where Reggie's brother gets killed. Again, the same actor that played in Return of the Living Dead. The one who goes, yeah. Well, he gets this really, really disturbing scene, but it comes across fucking laughable. He's screaming, he's hysterical, his girlfriend's had a fault slit, and he gets speared, but it's just the way he does it. Oh, oh. And I also love the bit with the pizza. Those dickety-diners. So it's like funny scene, even though it's supposed to be a disturbing scene. I do like the bit though, all the way through the film. Spoilers if you've never seen the 5th Friday the 13th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to know who the killer is? The ambulance driver. The lad who got axed up by this guy was a nutter. It turned out to be his son, not the one that axed him up, the one that got axed up. It was his son. And because of that, it sent him round the bend. He wanted to get his revenge. But always got me. Why would he not just go after the one that killed his son? But, you know, it is what it is. So he decided to test up, pretend to be Jason, wear the hockey mask, and so on. And you got one cop who's investigating it. This one guy's a dick. Jason? Jason? This is Jason. You get tailed the task. You get one guy's he's a bit of a dick with Tommy, and he gets swatted. He gets his head cut off. I like the old woman in it. Get your fucking stew. She gets stewed, meets even in the head. But like I say, he's attacking him. You think he's going to get the better, and Tommy has to cut his hand off, and he falls to his death, and that's when you find out what was happening. The only bit that got me is you get a nightmare scene where you think Tommy's killed her, it's a nightmare, but the only bit that pisses me off is the door walks through, right? And then you got Tommy with some reason with a fucking hockey mask. How he got the hockey mask, I don't fucking know. And he's about to stab the door. And I don't know why they did that, because obviously they didn't know what the 6th one was going to be at the time. But if you see the 6th one, that never made sense. Tommy didn't kill the door. I felt myself it would have just been better to see the window smashed, the door look, and he's got the idea he's escaped because he's got a sense that Jason is going to come back. I thought that would have just been better, but they didn't. They had this route where Tommy's got the hockey mask, He's got a knife. He's going to stab the dirt, and it ends like that. You don't know if he's killed her or not, or diggity dee. Obviously, it led nowhere because obviously he mustn't have done. She never gets mentioned. Reggie never gets mentioned, and obviously the actor that played Tommy. But apart from that silly ending, I didn't mind the fifth one. It went back to basics. It was a murder mystery. It had a reason. Had a similarity, you could say, to the first one, because it was a guy seeking his revenge on the death of his son. You could say that with Patsy Palmer's character. And, it was down to earth. It wasn't Jason fucking X. That's a bad one. Jason in fucking space. Wasn't 3D Dimmits like the third one. Wasn't fucking Jason managing to get killed by a fucking kid. But he can fucking cut a guy's head. He can throw a woman through a window. He can cut a guy's head and make his eyeball pop out. But a fucking kid can fucking just kill him. Just like that. So that's why I didn't mind this one. I didn't mind it. It was good in its day. It came out in 1985. Again, the same director with given us Savage Steaks. That being Friday the 13th Part 5. And Umi Dinning. Fuck it. A 5-star rating from me. Into them. Be smart. Be safe. There's some more other films on the way. Into them. See you later.